excited to be sharing this interview with you. 5 years raw vegan. She's healed pretty much all of her issues from weight problems, acne, from heavy, painful periods, chronic fatigue, really severe tiredness, where she literally after eating she would need to go to sleep. Now that's not thriving. Now she is. She's going to be sharing her story, sharing how she's overcome these challenges, and hopefully inspire you that you're not on your own. We're here to inspire, to support you. Stay right to the end, because we share also that we've got the raw vegan calendar that's out. Do check that out in the description box below as well. And also, if you like this video, thumbs up if you haven't already subscribed, and turn on the bell notifications to be notified of the next videos, and also to support the channel. Enjoy the interview. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments. So we have the gorgeous Afton. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm really excited for this. And I said earlier, like, I just want to ask you straight from the off, because we haven't really had any conversations like directly with each other, as in on video call. We have over messages, but I just can't wait to get to know you so much more and ask you so many questions from, like, legitimately asking you, curious to know your journey, you know, where you've come from. So what I like to do is, like, we'll do like past, present, and future. So where, you know, your challenges that you've come from, where you grew up, and then come into where you're at now and where you see yourself in the future. So share away, Afton, please, and I'll ask some questions. And if you want to expand on anything that you feel is important, that's valuable to those listening, then, you know, that is, I'm really excited. That would be really helpful. So where you living right now? So you're in Houston, Texas?
I am in Houston, yes.
Woo!
And it is fall. Feels good outside. If you know anything about Houston, Texas, you know it's super hot during the summer.
Yeah.
And we don't really get 4 seasons, but it's feeling real fall outside right now.
So it's kind of like a nice temperature. It's not too hot.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's perfect. It has that cool fall. I don't know. It has that fall in the air right now, and it feels good.
You like it? Is it one of your favorite times? I won't say season then.
Yeah, it is spring, and this time my birthday month is coming up around this season. So
Nice.
I don't know. Yeah.
Celebrations. Yeah. And then, so when did you transition from vegan? Did you go vegan and then to raw vegan, or what's your story, your past of where you've come from, your challenges?
Okay, so in 2017, I was overweight. I had adult acne. I wasn't diagnosed with pre-diabetes, but I think I was pre-diabetic because anytime I would eat like sweets together, say I would want to have a stack of pancakes, syrup, maybe like an apple and some orange juice, I would get so drained and so tired that I would have to take it in at least an hour nap.
Wow.
And if I were driving, if I had like a handful of dates or a handful of carrots, it wouldn't be long after I ate that stuff that I would have to pull over to a gas station. I was going to fall asleep driving.
Wow.
So my blood sugar was unchecked. So I was overweight. I had adult acne. My blood sugar was unchecked, and my period went from 4 days, 1 month, to the next month. Blood was flooding from my vagina. 10 days.
Wow.
I'm talking about super.
Really heavy.
Really heavy.
Yeah. And painful?
Yeah.
Was it painful as well?
Oh my God. I had radiating pains going down my right leg.
Oh wow.
Radiating. Yeah. Yeah. It was rough. So I switched from tampons, thinking that it was the tampons. I went organic tampons.
Yeah.
And that didn't really help. Then I went with a cup. And so the cup seemed to help a little bit. But that was during the beginning stages of me going raw vegan. So I stayed raw vegan, and it kind of slowed up a little bit. Then a few years later, maybe like 3 years later, I went alkaline. Like for a few months, because I'm not really alkaline now. I went alkaline and it reduced even more. Now it's at 6 days. It's reducing slowly to 5 days.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, after I was at work one day, or actually before I was at work, I was praying, saying to myself in my spirit, I want something, a diet where I can live a longer, healthier life. And it kept coming to me on YouTube, this one video talking about a raw vegan diet. And I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And then one day I was at work and I was trying to decide between a hamburger and tater tots because I love tater tots or a po' boy sandwich. I don't know if anybody knows or if y'all know what a po' boy sandwich is, but it's like lettuce, tomatoes, maybe like a fish sauce and like a mayo and relish mix with either shrimp or fish on a sub roll. So I was trying to decide between a shrimp po' boy or a hamburger with tots. And something in my spirit said, start your raw vegan diet. And
Wow.
I said, right now? The voice didn't respond, but my spirit knew that, yeah, go ahead and start. So I started then. I went from that to raw vegan to eating like
Not even so not even vegan. So you didn't transition. You just gone straight into raw foods.
I just got straight into raw.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was in 2017.
It was.
Yeah.
And then I got and then I lost a bunch of weight. I got super skinny. I got super scared because I didn't know when it would stop.
Yeah.
And a lot of things changed. Like the acne went away. My vision, colors were more vibrant. I felt so good. Oh my God. It was such a great experience. I'd never seen myself look so good. I went out and bought a bathing suit. I went out and bought a bikini. I was like, wow, this looks great. The spikes, the sugar level started stabilizing because, like I said, sometimes I would buy a handful of dates or a little container of dates, and I would still have to pull over and, like take a nap. Or if I would eat like a handful of carrots because I'd be so hungry, I would still have to pull over. But that stabilized. And so, yeah.
So once you just trusted the process, was you researching? Was you delving deeper on this path? Or was you just going with your own intuition? Or was you really curious? Was you reaching out to others in the communities? Or was you doing this by yourself? Because people around you, was there many around you on this lifestyle?
No, there was nobody around me on this lifestyle. Nobody. Everybody around me still ate meat. Everybody, still doing their own thing. But I've always been a person who marched to the beat of my own drum. So it was like, people don't really come to me and say, hey, you want this meat? You want this burger. They really don't.
Yeah.
I guess they get a sense that I'm serious about it. And they're like, hey, what are you doing? How does that work? They ask me questions about it. At that time, I was listening to John Rose and what he was doing. And so I learned a lot from John Rose. But mostly I was just eating things raw, like in combinations like salads, or sometimes I would have a smoothie. I'll be honest with you, I'm a creature of habit. So I found out that you can make the 5-ingredient salad with the salty, the bitter, the sweet, the fat, and what else? The acid. Yeah. And I started doing that. Just a basic kale salad. I did that every day for like a year or two.
Yeah.
And I would have grapes and fruits and stuff like that. But that was it. I was just doing whenever I was hungry, I was eating raw food.
Yeah. And what sort of challenges was you experiencing with going raw? Like just more of the transition? Did you feel like you was struggling craving wise, or was you when you set yourself on? Because I feel like some in the movement, especially the more masculine energy, they know what they want, they go out and they do it, and they don't have, like when I was talking to Eli Marta, he was, and even Jillian's the same. She was like, soon as I did that, that was it. I never went back. I now and again had some cravings, but it wasn't not strong. Whereas for me, I'm a very strong binge eater, and I have a strong addiction. with food and the comfort a lot. And my family was super unhealthy, and I struggled with more of the addictions, the cravings. Did you have any of those?
I did. So in the beginning, I was craving a burger so bad that I left work one night and I drove mindlessly to a Burger King and I bought two double meat burgers.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I lived 10 minutes from my house, from the Burger King. By the time I got home, both burgers were gone.
Yeah.
And there were other times, like during the time when I first started, like I stopped at a Whataburger and I got like I love tater tots. So I got like a burrito with egg. And I think I had a milkshake. Like the cravings, I gave into the cravings.
Mm-hmm.
But once I did the cravings, I felt like crap. And I was like, oh, dang, I shouldn't have done that. I felt guilty.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Those emotions
yeah.
carried over. Yeah.
But it was just a couple of times, and there were other times like when we had a storm, and our lights went out, and we didn't have access to like grocery stores and food. I used that as an excuse to maybe like have a biscuit. I never went back after the burger and that when I first started. I've never gone back to meat, but I have had like a cooked biscuit and like with jelly on it.
Yeah.
No, and I even ate some cheese too, but the cheese, oh my God. I ate some cheese one time during the storm. I was like, I'm going to use this as an excuse to eat some cheese.
Yeah.
I didn't say it like that out loud, but I knew in my heart that that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
And I had some cheese. I laid down and I felt like crap. Like literally, I don't know what the heck was in that cheese, but I felt like crap.
Yeah. You become more
And
sensitive, don't you, when you start to eat more raw foods? You really,
yes.
it's a good thing, but it's also some people are like in a lot of fear because of it. They're like, "Oh my God, why is this happening? Is this right?" And it puts people off in eating more raw foods. Actually, well, some people do. Some realize actually that's because it's so toxic. It's not meant for the body, and you really that I do it. There's certain foods that really just wow, I can't believe how we've become so adaptive to it just because our body's not reacting so severely in the past when we've eaten the standard diet doesn't mean that it's healthy. It's not until you go healthy and then you go back onto those and it reinforces, oh my goodness, why did I consume that? Did that happen for you? Like that had to happen so you didn't beat yourself up. It was just a thought, just realize, you do it first. But did you realize, wow, this has reinforced why I'm on this path of eating raw foods?
Kind of, sort of. My why is to live a longer, healthier life. Like I want to live past 120 years in my life, and I want to be healthy during those years.
Oh, so fun.
Yeah. So looking younger and living longer are my whys. So when I give into those cravings, I'm like, this is not helping. And then I look at myself, I'm like, oh, girl, you are looking a little old there. So recently, oh, are we on recently now?
We can go back and forth. We can reevaluate. But yeah, because I was just saying, like, your skin is absolutely incredible, and you look so good. You're glowing. You look amazing. And how old? Remind me asking how old you are, Afton.
38.
Wow, 38. You look like 29, 30. No older than 30. Incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, just shows you, doesn't it? Wow.
Well, thank you. So what did I want to tell you? So recently I went on a couple of fasts. Last year there was a guy who I was interested in and he liked a certain body type. So I thought that I would add weight to my body by eating a lot of avocados since, bodybuilders do carving. They do a lot of carving.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was like, you know what? I'm going to add, because I was skinny. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I want to add weight. So I'm going to eat like 5 avocados every day. What the heck was I thinking? it added weight for sure. And I was getting thicker. Like my butt was getting big. I was in the gym. I was working out. My butt was getting rounder. Like my breasts were growing. And by the end of the year though, like I started getting constipated more than I ever had before.
Mm,
Like it was rough. And also I started getting more brain fog and I couldn't, it was wild. And I even think like I had some candida problems, like rectal candida problems. Like I would feel it's different. Um I don't know if you want me to go there, but I just felt like the candida was like in my rectum.
yeah,
Like it wasn't itching or
yeah.
anything, but anyway, so
Do you find that because of the fats with the sugar? Is because are you predominantly low fat? Is that what your eating ways are? So you don't have so
I,
much. What's do you measure macros or anything like that or
I
calories?
don't I don't measure. I eat when I'm hungry. So
Mm,
I eat mostly salads, but that time, so it differs. It differs. You
yeah,
go through so much. It
yeah,
differs.
yeah,
First of all, I eat raw, but I'm still an emotional eater. So when I feel like I need comfort, I eat way too many avocados and I eat way too many dates.
yeah.
Um and
Well, you don't
uh,
feel there's that part. I feel you don't feel as guilty because it is raw, but you do notice a difference as your body starts to get cleaner. The more you detox, you realize that yeah, that the more avocados, the fats for some, not for everybody. Because I'm finding I went through a phase where I was cleansing and the fat when I was increasing the fats, it didn't agree with me so much. I'm in the building phase now, really getting into the gym, and I'm increasing my fats actually. Although I it's a tricky one. It's trying to find that balance because I really don't want to get into the measurements. I don't calorie count. I don't even count my macros. It could be something I do in the future with the macros, but I'm going more intuition. This is what I teach more in the intuition, more because I think when we go into numbers and calorie, for some it can work, but for me, I'm not passionate about that, and I really don't want to go into that way of living. I find I go out feeling sometimes. So at the moment where I'm feeling, my fats are not affect. I'm probably, if I can guess, estimate like 20%, maybe 25% fats. Definitely more carbohydrates, but I do feel good. But before, when I was in the cleansing, I realized the fats were causing me more. Like I was tired. I wasn't feeling as good. But I'm and I think this is all coming through how much I'm expending on my daily activities. Because when I was in the cleansing phase, I was more resting, and not doing as much, especially the gym. Now I'm in the gym. The fats are actually, and I think because my digestion is much more efficient. So with you then it's interesting. I find it so amazing, like within this lifestyle, some things depends on everyone's journey and what the experiences, what they've eaten in the past, can certain foods affect them. So you find now when your avocados increased, and I believe that's something to do with your digestion is not as efficient yet. In time, it can take some time, because I think in the future, because there's those that can eat lots of fats, lots of carbohydrates, the sugars, and they find it's fine. Some say it's not working for them. So do you find that it is the mixing, the combinations, that's creating the potential, the candida, the fatigue? Because what comes with candida is the symptoms is fatigue. Yeah, you can get an itchy anus, but you didn't experience that. But you just know it's not as flawless, your digestion. Yeah,
yes, yes, and yes.
yeah,
But so after I started getting constipated, I went on a few fasts. I did a 40 something day juice fast where I did like Lou Corona's fast, and
yeah.
I really like let it was great. I don't dissect my poop, so I'm not sure. I kind of look in the toilet to see if I see anything floating, but I just don't have the stomach to,
Yeah.
inspect my poop.
Yeah.
Um yeah.
Yeah.
So,
When
but
did
I
you do
flushed.
that? When was that
This
juice?
was early. This was earlier this year.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you feel good? It was a good
I felt
experience?
I felt so much better. I
Yeah.
felt so much better.
And how many
And
liters of juice a day was you having?
I started out not having that many. One of my problems on this journey is that I don't drink enough water.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So yeah. And so towards the end, maybe like 4 weeks uh before the end, I increased my juice intake. Like I was drinking 2 or 3 48-ounce juices.
Great.
And then so like a month before I was on the juice fast, I wasn't eating any solid foods. I was drinking juice, but I wasn't drinking a lot of water. I stopped pooping and but something in my body said keep going. And then I discovered this raw juice. I don't have one, but it's like 48 ounces. And I was taking that stuff down. It's like celery, kale, grapefruit, lemon juice, and parsley, similar to Lou Corona's recipe.
Yeah, lemon
And
ginger
I
blast, similar to that.
and it went in there, and whatever it
It's
did
sped up.
exactly what it was. The first time I had that 48-ounce juice, I think I must have had like two or three.
Yeah.
I had to poop like I had major solid food earlier that day. I was
Wow.
like, what the heck? And after that, I felt so connected to the things around me. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It
And
was amazing.
this is what because people don't realize like these foods are really like stuck when we do a juice cleanse. We release so much mucoid plaque, and if we're not releasing, we got like you went through that gap and then started to release more. This is mucoid plaque. This is the waste, the compacted waste that's stuck in our GI tract. That's actually stopping us eliminating efficiently, and also able to utilize the nutrients. So this is what's causing all this disease, the tiredness, the fatigue. This is where you feel this euphoric feeling and lightness, and that's why I recommend like most people try this juice cleanse, because it changes everything, doesn't it? And it really helps to go back into a way of eating that's raw foods, especially eating healthier. It's a good start to then go on to that. So how many juice cleanses have you? So this was your recent one was the 47-day this year.
My most recent one was watermelon fast. I
Oh,
did watermelon. Yeah, I did seeded conventional watermelon for like 9 or 10 days. And
amazing.
when I tell you, I could have manifested. I felt like things gravitated. It felt like I could think it and it would move towards me. It was bomb.
Yeah.
It was bomb. So that was my second juice cleanse. I did another juice cleanse like the year before last year. That was like I don't remember how many days. I have to look it up because I documented it on Instagram or Facebook. But
Yeah.
that was my second juice cleanse, and then the watermelon fast.
Yeah.
I tried recently to go like mucusless. I tried to go off fruit, but then these emotions came. Oh, I wasn't ready for this. I
Yeah.
was not. Mm,
That
I wasn't ready
watermelon
for this.
cleanse though is an intense cleanse. Watermelon. Did you
Oh
find
yeah.
any challenges with that in your first 3 days? Would you say? Usually, I would say for me and many of us that have one of my clients went on their watermelon cleanse. She did 3 days. We were trying to push her after 3 days, but that's when it really steps up and gets better after 3 days. But it was fine for her first one. But did you find any challenges on that 9 days? Is amazing on a watermelon cleanse.
I don't remember any challenges because I was working and I was also like I had watermelon up. I would go like buy three of the big ones. It was like super size.
Yeah.
Listen, I didn't have I I saved the seeds because I was like, I'm gonna freaking plant this. Are
Oh,
you kidding me?
amazing! They're big.
It was listen, it was super size.
Yeah.
I went through and like I saved the seeds, blah blah blah. But I was eating watermelon and I was pooping. Look, I pooped so much. I was pooping straight watermelon. Like my poop was pink.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. You got a good system there. But
Heck yeah.
and you didn't get any cravings? And no any detox symptoms? Did you get any, or was you just feeling great?
On on the cleanse, I felt great. It was
Yeah,
after it was after the cleanse
the refeeding.
that the cravings came. And when I tell you, I am in a place right now where I have had anger come up. I'm angry about something
Yeah.
and I need to find the source because I have taken to air popped popcorn with
Mm,
salt and coconut oil.
yeah.
And every day after work, I have been buying 2 bags.
Wow.
And yeah, and this is recent. Like
Mm,
I had 1 bag yesterday.
yeah.
And it's hurting me because when I go to the Sprouts down the street, the ladies at the cashiers would say to me, "Girl, you come in here, you inspire me so much. You come with your workout clothes and oh, you know." And then one day I went there and I didn't buy my usual fruits and stuff.
Yeah.
I bought coffee, cold brew coffee, organic, of course, and 2 bags of popcorn. And I felt like I had fallen from grace.
Mm.
But I didn't hide it. And I told him, I got something going on. And I do. And I don't know how to deal with it. So that's where I am now.
Yeah.
I have something that
You've got
has
such
come
great
up.
awareness though, because you know what, some people often would be, you know what, it's out of the big grand thing, you know, it's nothing, but it's so much more. You know, there's it's not just what you're eating, it's the pattern. It's what pattern, what's the calling to do that, what's going on, and it's digging deep. And what raw foods does for us, we do get deeper because it forces us to be in our crap, be in it. But if we can do it for long enough, it comes up. We do you practice meditation?
I do not.
Oh, this is one thing I've seen a big shift with most of my clients. They and for myself, when we use raw foods and meditate, because we not I'm so busy with our lifestyles. You know, we're always doing something. We're in a really fast paced well where we're just constantly doing and feeling productive. Even for me, I have to catch myself. I'm only feeling better when I'm productive, when I've ticked off 20 things off my checklist. But it's not until I have the rest, the actual time to just sit, is when all the answers come up. Like, you know, when we're in flow, things just, we don't have to be in fast pace. Things come to us naturally, the right opportunities. We do the things that are for our higher self. So what we're doing here, what we're doing is we're in this fast rushing phase. And what your body's trying to do is slow you down. It's called grounding because the body is trying to what happens is your spirit's saying, right, get something, but yourself, your pattern is to ground through foods by having heavy food. So we sit there with the food and we're just like, but we're numb. Our high self downloads don't come through. So it's a numb, we're in sedation. But if we
Yeah.
don't do that and we sit and we literally sit and rest, do nothing, that's when the answers come. And it might not, you might think, when's the answers going to come? You have to be patient. This is teaching you patience. Oh my God, I get goosebumps because I can't believe that sometimes I forget. And when I'm teaching my clients, I'm like, this is a reminder for myself. I catch myself often and I just allow myself, look, my body is tired. I need to sit down. But because we've got responsibilities, we've got work, but there will be times in your day where you can just, so that instead of going back after work and coming back with those foods to numb, because I'm huge. This is my big binge eating. Back in the, I'd spend 50 to 100 pounds on a binge session, come back home, eat the whole like 250-gram fruit and nut bars. I had 2 or 3 of them, slabs of flapjack with custard. I would eat
Yeah.
probably 5 to 10,000 calories, stuffing my
Yeah.
face and cry, what's wrong with me? I can't. And then as soon as I stopped doing that, all the answers were coming up, like this pain that's come up, there's something that's triggered me. and this keeps these patterns. And it's like the crying, the detox that comes through. That's what happened with my first full cleanse. I did 40-day juice cleanse. I literally did not go to. I was going through a breakup, but I wasn't crying and in pain because of the breakup. It was the past abandonment, that there was a lot of
Yeah.
emotions coming up from childhood. So I was doing a lot of childhood healing, and if it wasn't for the cleanse and to meditate, I was doing up to 4 hours, not 4 hours solid every day, but I was like really motivating myself just to sit there and do nothing, take rest, and I was worrying about money. I'd hardly any money. I'd just gone through a breakup and I was in a foreign country, but I just surrendered. So I've been in like that phase of literally having nothing, feeling like, wow, everything. I'm at the pit at the bottom here. I've got so much stress, but I just let go and I allowed this process to unravel. And then there were moments and days where I felt this inspired action and I was bringing in income, doing less and having more opportunities, and then getting to the root cause at the same time of what my pain was. And it was such a really deep spiritual experience that I've never, ever experienced in my whole life. Only moments, but not so consistent. So what I
Yeah.
encourage is, it's going to be challenging because you've got this pattern that will keep on doing that. But when you come back and don't use the food and just sit there, light a candle, create a sanctuary. I bought I can't remember the lights for my bedroom, all different wave lights, and I
Yeah.
had the incense essential oil diffuser, my
Yeah.
my lights and my candles, and I created a really safe, just sanctuary and safe, and just sat down and just listened, just sat there, let the thoughts come through, didn't focus on trying to empty the thoughts, just sat there. And I cried. I was getting agitated. At first, sometimes I just wanted to use my phone, but everything was downstairs. I'd be upstairs, and I forced myself initially. I was just like, I'm gonna face my demons. I'm gonna face everything. And you do get the answers. You do. Or sometimes it just wants to be heard. You don't have to have solutions. It just wants to come up and be heard. Like sometimes, children, like they come to you,
Yeah.
they just want to be held. They don't, you don't have to fix it, because we're always in fixing. What can I'm like a fixer. Like, I want to find out the answer. I want to find out what's going on. Sometimes just needs to be heard, to be transmuted and channeled, So I would encourage, if you're in that place, and I went through it last week. I've noticed a pattern. I've noticed for the last few months, few days, a week before my periods, I'm getting these intense feelings. So there's going to be shifts throughout your journey, and it's
Yeah.
you feel like you're in it for a long time. These patterns are surfacing again, and you feel like you're going backwards, but in fact you're not, because it can take some time to move through the body to then get the
Yeah.
answers that get even deeper. So you're uncovering so much more, so many more layers. And say it's I get goosebumps, because you're gonna find that pain point, but you're also gonna listen to yourself for once, listen to that inner calling, that inner child that needs to be heard, that we've been stuffing down with food, with distractions, with work. We're trying to suppress what we really need to hear. We really need to allow to come up.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely. I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna let you know how it goes.
just
Starting
sit with
today.
it. Look, that's a self-love. When so what we got used to, we feel that's a self-love. Who's going out to there's a part of us that believes in that. When we go out to the shop, we're getting the coffee, we're getting the sweets, all these foods that are sedating. We feel that that's a self-love. We're thinking we deserve that. Sometimes I'm like, I've had a stressful day, I need to have something. But what ends up happening, it halts us. But you know what? We have to sometimes experience it, because in that comes awareness, and comes from, there's a place that is just we feel it's comforting. And then when we realize these foods are not comforting for us, our high self is trying to come through. These programs that we've got, that we keep having to redo, relearn, And it'll go on, you know, there's deeper layers of us because we've had so many traumas. We forget that we are very sensitive beings, you know, and this world, if we can know that this world is not set up for us to fry, it's not. It's a little negative, but there's also empowering. There's power in that as well. That we can do things to nurture our soul, to nurture us without using these drugs. The drugs. That's what we're using. We're getting our
Yep.
fix. We're going to the shop to get the fix to go back. But if you can come home and create a sanctuary, a safe space where for once in a long time, you're going to hold yourself and hear yourself, allow that just to just be here.
Yeah.
And it's the emotions are going to come through. There'll be times where it'll be challenging, but there'll be a lot of releasing. There'll be a lot of deep cries, you know, like that'll come up, but happiness and joy and bliss and pain and anger, because that anger is not a bad thing. Anger is telling you there's something that's irritating. It's emotion that's coming up that's telling you something. Listen to that. And you can only do that without the heavy foods, without rushing and being busy.
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna let you know how it goes over the next
Yeah.
few weeks. That's where I am. Like literally, I've had like in the past. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks now that
Yeah.
I've been doing the popcorn.
Yeah.
It's been 3 or 4 weeks, and then maybe like 3 or 4 days. I said, okay, this is enough,
Yeah.
and I had a little help from a friend, and I was like, okay. And then I stopped talking to that friend, and then yesterday I said, I'm gonna just get one bag, and I fell. And I got that one bag of popcorn and I was like, dang. So I'm gonna sit with it. I'm gonna sit with it.
Yeah.
And I'll let you know. And so that's where I am now. I'm sitting with some emotion and
Yeah.
I wanna go all fruit. I wanna go mucusless.
Yeah.
And I want to figure my crap out. I want to manifest harder. I want to bring stuff to me. I want to do, I'm, it's too late for perfection. I've already fallen into the cravings and people in my community have already seen me, make the mistakes. So, hopefully that helps somebody and not turn people away.
But you're
So,
normal. It's normal as well. This is what we always feel like, especially when you've been raw. You feel like we shouldn't be even going through all this now. Or some people are like, "Well, you're so healthy. Why are you doing what? You can have that. You're allowed that." And then it's so much more than that and deeper than that. And we're still forever detoxing, healing.
yes.
Always working in the shadow because that's what helps us grow. That helps us evolve into much more connected, deeper souls. Suffering is
Got
where,
it.
what does Rumi says, the light is the wounds are where the light enters. When we start to break down, more light comes in, more answers come, more fulfillment, more peace, more joy. But we have to break down those walls. If we're just sat here going, oh, it's just sweeping everything. This is work of the warrior, isn't it? This is
Yeah.
most people are numbing out to. They're numbing out their pain. And some don't even think they know something's not quite right, but they don't want to face it.
Yes.
I had this, it's not an easy path. I used to envy my friends. I'm like, don't you want to do something about it? Or don't you feel there's something more? I was always like, there's just more. And I was like, no, it's okay. I'm happy with, it's quiet. I call it quiet desperation. They might be unhealthy. They might be having some aches and pains. They might feel unfulfilled. There'll be some anger coming up, but they'll just eat or they'll go drinking or take drugs,
Yeah.
something. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to. I want to find out. There's more. I want to uncover what we're here for, what we're about. What is this world? It's so much more than just those superficial feelings. We want to dig deep, and yeah, it's not an easy path. But when we get those connections and when we get the downloads, and you're like, it just makes sense, and then you're feeling good, the detox surpassing for a little bit, and then you get these moments of euphoria, and it becomes more balanced. I feel like I'm more in this balance phase now, and there'll be moments that I will take it deeper because I know there'll be, like I say, recently, not last month was very turbulent, I would say. And even on my live streams in my membership, I was being totally transparent. Like, people put you up here, like, thinking you've been raw for such a long time. You don't get any feel, hard feelings. Nothing's challenging. I'm like, what? No, there's
Yeah.
my lifestyle. If you think what you've lived before, when you look back, wow, my body's resilient. I put my body through so much alcohol, stimulants,
Yeah.
the dead foods, the heavy
Yeah.
foods. This is not going to happen overnight. There's a lot of
Yeah.
layers to uncover, and so it makes me so, like, I appreciate if those that are honest, and you're amazing that you're going through this, and it's by sharing and by opening up and being honest, because, like I said, people put you on this pedestal and think,
Yeah.
oh, you're so clean, you shouldn't be going through this. No, I'm human. I've been through so much, and I'm still going through a lot of changes, a lot of transformations. We're constantly transforming.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing. So but in regards to where you was, and we forget sometimes, we've got to look back, because where you was, so you've transformed so much. I bet your whole lifestyle's changed. Did you drink alcohol? Did you go out much? Did you consume?
I used to be able to drink a bottle of tequila.
Wow.
I used to be able to drink a bottle of tequila.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll have a shot. I've had some shots recently, and that I'm not proud of, because what I want to do is be alcohol free,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be mucusless, and I want to do all fruits. And sometimes when I'm in the gym, I want to do more fruits and more leafy greens. I'm sorry, more leafy greens.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
But I've got some emotions to deal with. I've got some stuff that the alcohol, I was taking shots because I was feeling like something, just like I just wasn't getting it. So I was taking shots more recently. And
But how did that react on your body? How did you feel? Is it not so aggressive, or was it okay? Did you get hangover?
you know what? I learned this trick from Dave Asprey. I was putting activated charcoal in my shots.
Ah.
I was drinking vodka and tequila. So he said it's not good for your brain, but if you drink something that's distilled and put activated charcoal in it, that would take away some of the toxins. So I did that. I had vodka and I had tequila more than a few times, and I didn't get the hangover feeling, but that's not what my body's telling me to do.
Yeah.
And so
good transition though, isn't it? For those that do enjoy their drink and they don't want to give it up all at once, that's a great option for people. I'm glad you shared that. So potentially, so they don't get the strong, aggressive hangovers, put some charcoal in your drink.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
But you feel you're coming away from alcohol. You feel it's not serving.
I feel like, yeah, it's not serving me. I feel like when I do what that voice inside of me is telling me to do, I live better. I live better. But I do, at this point, I live a raw vegan life. I'm like mostly, when I don't have the popcorn, I'm raw vegan.
Yeah.
I'm having,
You'll tweak things, sometimes this changes, and it's about loving the whole process, isn't it? There's loving it, surrendering, accepting this is where you are. And for now, this will be a phase of your life. Because I think once you accept and love it, no matter what you're doing, you'll start to tweak things and change. Okay, that's working for me for now. But then in a few weeks, a few months, you just start to realize, no, it's not. And then you'll get deeper. Like you said, you've already got this awareness of there's this anger coming out of me. So that you're using the food to suppress. We don't realize how much we use food to suppress and escape, to distract. Yeah. So if we can take that away, and this is all about experience, and this is what I've experienced for myself and with my clients. If we take it away, we're not perfect. There'll be moments where things are too much, and it's fine. Do that. Don't beat yourself up. But we're already on this path anyways. We're going to be uncovering. and we're digging deep. We're not coming away from this anymore. We're on it. We're on the path. And you may come off, there might be side to side, but that's life. That's the course of life, and while we're on it, it makes it more exciting. But you
Yes.
eventually come to, okay, there's trigger. What's the trigger here? What's making me feel this anger? What is happening? And that's where we can listen, and why I love meditation. So that's where you are now then. What's the future of Afton? So you've already said mucusless, high fruit, yeah,
Yeah.
and lots of more greens. I feel
Yeah.
that's my calling. I'm still
Yeah.
I'm mastering the raw foods. I'm building. I think the next step in the future is very similar. Mucusless, more learning more about the food combining now. Mucusless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a natural progression, and then you'll experiment it, and you might feel that that's working or not. There'll be different moments in your life, but I think raw is really the answer. I was never thought of going raw. It would be always high raw, but no, raw just it does make. I always say it just makes sense when you're on it and you experience it. I was having more raw days, and the raw, because I was feeling so good on the raw days more than I was feeling on the raw till dinner. I was like, why don't I just be raw? I should have more raw days.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
my journey was, a long time transition, and not like yours, which pretty much was overnight.
Yeah.
I went vegetarian, vegan, then high raw for 6 years. I was raw till dinner. I loved it. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm doing this for the rest of my life. I'm never doing fully raw. And then
Yeah.
I was having more raw days just to explore, because you're curious, because
Yeah.
you learn about the
Yeah.
lifestyle. And that's the same thing for you. The more you learn, it's just part of experimentation. Enjoy it. Enjoy the process. So with your career wise then, is your career, you're teaching. You teach, don't you?
Yes.
So
I'm a teacher. Yeah.
so what do you teach?
I take sixth grade science.
Oh wow! So you've already got a science mind. So this makes sense with raw foods, because some people have to have the science behind eating raw foods. I'm like, really? Like science?
Yeah.
But I still struggle with that. But some people want it. You got to prove that raw fruits, vegetables,
Yeah.
are healthy.
Yeah.
Or you can't.
Yes. That's true. Yes.
You can't just live off that. But if you're I mean, do you share this with anyone, this lifestyle? Who do you, because on Instagram you do share, don't you? But is there any people that you're always inspiring people, I from just looking at yourself, they'll be intrigued how you look so good, and curious to what you're eating.
I mean, I guess I don't, the ladies who I work with, I just recently started working with them in August, and not one lady on campus has asked me about I even bring freaking, I can't even find
big bowls, big serving bowls.
Yes. And no one has asked me, wow, what's the deal?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
I think I think vegan is so big now. People are like, oh, she's vegan. Okay, whatever.
And Texas, I think, is more accepting. They're more on that. They're quite new age, aren't they? Texas, I feel like you've got a lot of more, healthy, definitely healthy eaters, more conscious of the health.
Possibly.
Yeah. I think so, because when I notice a lot of the raw vegans or vegans are in Texas, I'm like, you're all there. I need to come over. Spirited. I'd love to visit Texas. And you've lived there all your life?
I have lived here all my life.
Yeah. And the future, what does the future hold then for you? What's your long-term plans with the food and your career?
So I want to be a sixth grade teacher. Oh, I started doing nice cream.
Oh, amazing.
Heck yeah. I started this summer. I started selling nice cream at the farmer's market, and it was a huge success. Like, people came out. I have Instagram and everything, the whole thing. And I want to do the nice cream. I want to get myself a truck.
Yeah.
And be around the Houston area with my nice cream.
I love it. That's amazing.
Heck yeah.
You do well there. Yeah, there's a big calling for that, isn't there? Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yeah. I love nice cream. What do you use to blend? What blender do you have?
I use a food processor.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
because that goes into like a cream, or like it's a bit like a Vitamix. I've got both. I think they're
Yeah.
great for blending for ice cream.
Well, when I'm finally a teacher and I'm getting a teacher salary, I will absolutely get
Yeah,
a Vitamix. I
yeah.
can afford one.
That's a good question actually for those that are watching. So, do you find it's much more expensive to eat raw, or do you find it's irrelevant, or have you seen a different? Or you're really good at now, sort of knowing when the deals are on and wholesale price. Do you how because that sometimes that's a challenge for some people. Going raw is the cost of eating raw foods.
It is a challenge. I mean, if you want to do like $10 a day, $10 to $20 a day, that'd be great. That's $600 a month. You can, $20 a day, that'll get you fed. Like if you
Yeah,
want to do some juices, you want to do like kale salads, and you want to put some apple, do that five. I'm giving people advice, but like $20 a day,
yeah.
that'll do you.
That's good.
And
People like ideas, whatever you share. Mine's a little bit different because I live in Thailand. It is so cheap, but obviously you're in certain areas that are much more like even I was like $20 a day. Even I don't spend. Well, actually, I do. It depends if I'm eating at the raw vegan restaurants. But no, it's good to give people some ideas of what you do. So yeah, you're approximately spending that and your greens. You say you have salads a lot. Do you have smoothies and smoothie bowls?
I don't really eat smoothies and smoothie bowls. I don't.
Yeah.
I've been eating lately. I go over to the grocery store and I buy like a tub of arugula,
Yeah.
and I freaking eat arugula with my fingers and stuff it in my mouth. Like I'm like Popeye pulling food
Yeah.
greens out of the tub and putting it
Wow.
into my mouth.
Yeah, you like
Yeah,
the
that's
greens then. That's good. Yeah, because some,
yeah.
there's fruitarians that don't have any of the greens, but you enjoy the greens.
I don't necessarily enjoy it. I think arugula is spicy and kind of nasty, but
Yes.
but
Yeah.
But once I stuff myself with like, what is it, 10 ounces of arugula, I'm like walking faster than everybody. They're like, girl, what is up with you? I'm like, well, I'm feeling good right now. You have no idea.
I love that. So you know the benefit of it, and your body's
Yeah.
just naturally programmed, to
Yeah.
do that. It just eat, yeah, amazing, and you feel good. So you know that, and that's what we just need to learn to do. That the more we eat of a certain item, is the more we crave. So anything what we're constantly eating is what we crave, and you crave it because you see the benefits. Yeah, it might not taste so good,
Yeah.
but you've had wired in the benefits after that. It's like exercise. Most people
Yeah.
don't want to go to the gym. Sometimes it's like, oh, I've got to go. But when you go and you finish, you feel freaking awesome. And it's the
Heck
same
yeah.
reminder for what we do.
Yeah.
So, wow. So you've got big plans, potentially even having the business with the ice cream. Wow, you've got lots going on. You've got loads happening.
I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited for like meditating, going mucusless, high fruit or fruitarian for sure. I want to do intermittent fasting because, like I said, I want to live longer, and I'm teaching. Hopefully, oh, I have a garden. I want to do some gardening.
Yeah.
I want to
Grow
grow
your
my
own
own.
food.
Man, I grew freaking cucumbers. When I tell you that the first time I plucked a cucumber off of the vine, that I was high. Like I started seeing dirt that was in the garage that I was like, what the heck? Why have I never seen this look like this? I was like, it was amazing. I was
Yeah.
like, I have to start growing my own food.
Well, yeah, that's my dream. Having your own land and growing your own,
Yeah.
and having the community, everyone around, living off, no one doesn't have to struggle and have crappy food. They've got delicious that is the dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's small. This year was all about me learning to do permaculture actually. I've not even been to. There's a place that offers, you can volunteer to learn.
Yeah.
I haven't been yet. Thank you for the reminder. I'm going to note that down. That is my mission for this year, to at least have a few sessions just to
Yeah.
start planting those seeds. It's all about and literally plant those seeds. And that's all this
Yeah.
lifestyle is. People go, I'll never go raw, or, I'll never be, high raw, but just eating more of these delicious foods, these high vibrational foods, just starts to then grow naturally. You'll start craving more, you'll want more, and you'll reach out, you'll see others that are doing living this lifestyle and starting to see the benefits. And you're just showing us that, you know, we are thriving. We're doing so well. We've got work to do. We never have no work to do. And that's the beauty
Yes.
of life, isn't it? That's the part of
Yes.
the discovery. As long as, I think I'm mastering more, just enjoy the freaking process, enjoy the journey. Don't try and get there now. We're always trying to be there. No, you will, you'll get there, but let's enjoy the discovery, going through the forest and learning, going to try something different, and then exploring something else, and then you'll come towards, oh, that resonated more. I like that. Because I always thought I always thought I was low fat, because I was low fat for many years. But now I'm really getting into, I really want to see how strong I can get. And I know there's a lot of, there's even, you can get strong on low fat, but I'm curious to more with the higher fats now, and I'm enjoying the higher fats. So yeah, enjoy the discovery, the process. I'm talking a lot.
It's okay. Like, I am healing through your talking. This is a great talk. This interview has brought me to a good place, so I appreciate it.
Good, and I hope that for others as well. That, because, and it's a reminder for myself. You know, we always feel, as those living this phenomenal lifestyle, we think, we know we've got it all worked out. We haven't. We're human. We're still learning. We're just sharing what we are experiencing and what we're learning. You know, we go through tough points, we go tough times. You know, we're feeling all. If we can accept that we're going to feel all emotions, because we're allowed to. We're allowed to feel anger. Don't feel. I just always feel there's that toxic positivity, isn't there, in law of attraction? Do you know, I went into all the law of vibration, law of attraction. It's good, and it serves us to look for the good, but also we have to be careful, because when we're feeling bad, we feel it's not good. What's wrong with me? Why am I? I'm not a nice person. No, you're freaking allowed to feel angry. That's where I've learned we set boundaries, because there could be something within you. This is what I get deep with my clients. I'm like, we really sit together to uncover, why is it that you are feeling? Because I was feeling anger for such a long time, and I felt bad because I wanted to be this kind, nice. I was a people pleaser. Realized I'm not setting boundaries with people. People are walking all over me, but I'm allowing it. I take full responsibility. I'm allowing people to do that. But then I was neglecting myself. So I started to say no. And then I got resistance. And then I was able to then get into more of what really fulfills me, not people pleasing. You know, I'll say things that doesn't make people, I don't want to ever hurt people, but I want to come from truth, my truth. If I can't share my truth, never want it. I love people. I just don't like the behavior. So if someone's doing something disgusting, I'm going to tell them. You know, there's something that doesn't resonate with me, I will share. I'm very open. I'm more open now. I go through phases in my life where I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like, but I'm learning to accept that is my truth. That is my, I don't want to lie to people. I want to be authentic. You know, that's just, but I'm not saying I'm right either. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just sharing what is coming up for me. So yeah, we get to that. We get a lot, for a lot of people, it's the self-criticism, you know, the people pleasing, the low self-esteem. You know, what is it that is really not in alignment with who they really are? We get to the bottom of that, and that's what raw foods does. Helps us. Intermittent fasting. I intermittent fast as well, and meditation. And have you got my free ebook, Afton? I've got a free ebook about 3 principles, what I have pretty much mastered. I live the lifestyle: meditation, intermittent fasting, and raw foods. It's a free.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
because I'm gonna get it. I didn't have it. I have. I'm sorry, Toni. I will.
It's a great book. Just to it shares what I've been learning, what I've been uncovering, what I've really spoken about today. But then really getting to master them. You know, don't just take them in and play with them. Master them, and it could be one thing at a time. You know, one step at a time. You know, I've got a client that's not raw yet, but is mastering the intermittent fasting on a standard diet, but loving the intermittent fasting, and now eating one breakfast fully all raw. And then we gradually build on, and we work on through these 3 tools that I feel help us with the healing. It's just a part of our toolbox that can help us enjoy the journey more, enjoy this process. So
Absolutely. Those are the three hitters. Like, what did you say? You said meditation, raw food, and what was the other one?
intermittent fasting.
Oh, yeah, those are the three hitters.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're your three pillars. You master those, because meditation involves the mindset. I
Yeah.
incorporate meditation with the mindset, the
Yep.
programs that we have going on. So we
Yeah.
talk about the programs and the beliefs, the stories that we're constantly telling ourselves. You know, we
Yeah.
aren't we aren't our patterns. We aren't these. We have this identity of many things, but they're just patterns. If we can disassociate from those patterns and
Yeah.
look out, it's not who we really are. Who we really are is love, peace, compassion. You know, we truly are at our core those. These are just patterns. These are just experiences. These are just results of watching others, and sometimes they're not even ours. They're others. They're our families, our mothers, our fathers. You know, that have imprinted on us those beliefs, those thoughts that not even ours. You know, sometimes I'm like, I hear my mum in me. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's not me. You know, when I'm stressed sometimes and I'm going to cleaning mode, I have this frenzy cleaning, and I'm like, that's my mother. My house was always a show house. It was like we couldn't sit on the sofa during the day, and I can see
Yeah.
myself when I'm not in my high self. I'm stressed. Things that I'm not. I'm trying to be fast paced. I realize I catch myself from saying things that my mother used to say or my father. You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's not me.
Yeah.
But there's positives as well. There's a lot of what we've learned that's good, and if we can catch it and be aware of it and reflect, then that's we're on the healing, we're on the self love path.
Yes.
So we do have a new calendar, which is I wanted to mention on the end of this channel on the video.
Okay. Yeah.
We've got the 2023 Rawlicious Babes calendar, which is Afton is a part of. Thank you, Afton, for contributing and having your gorgeous picture on there. I'm really grateful. That is now available. We are now going to be releasing them because we had the pre-launch, the pre-sales, but now is the day. It's the 1st of October, which we are launching. So grab yourself a copy for everyone that's interested on this lifestyle, inspired by these gorgeous girls. Also quotes as well. Every month we have a quote by the beautiful ladies, and also to find out who these women are that are sharing their stories on social media. And if you wanted to reach out to them to ask them any questions. And after we'll end on that, actually, where can people find you if they wanted to reach out to you and also to see what you are doing, what you're up to?
So I'm at Miss Raw Vegan Runner on Instagram. If you're ever in Texas, you're in Houston, Texas during the summertime, I'm doing a pop-up starting in the summer of 2023. I'll be doing nice cream, organic, mostly organic ingredients. And you can find my Instagram account is nice cream _ vegan ice cream, and I'll let you know where the pop-up is going to be.
Share all that, Afton. I'll put it all in the description box as well. I'll have that handy for everyone to click the link.
Okay.
Amazing. They can follow you. So I'm planning on coming to Texas next year. So in the summer. So there's the festival.
Oh.
So I'm planning. That's my plan. So I hope to see you there. I'll be coming to your pop-up.
Heck yeah, it would be an honor, Toni. It would be an honor. I would serve you a freaking 2-scoop cone or whatever kind of vegan of nice cream. You gotta come.
Heck I will, definitely. I'd love to. If I'm over there, I'm coming. We'll meet, we're all gonna see each other. So
Gotcha.
Any parting ways for those that are new to this, are curious? What sort of parting tips could you give somebody on this journey? Any self-love tips? Yeah, anything that you felt you wish you would maybe have known? Just anything that feels that would help others. Just anything that comes to mind.
It's the best decision I've ever made in my life. To go raw vegan is the best decision I've ever made in my life. And if you feel called to to, eat a high raw diet, then by all means take the step and go do it, because it has changed my life.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've seen physically and spiritually so much. And look that even those answers to do meditation, and this might be your next transformation, meditation. Who would
Yeah.
have known if you was not living this lifestyle, that calling may not have come so early,
Yeah.
come later, who knows?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing.
And you still gotta, and one thing I want to say is you still have a long way. Like we were saying, like raw food isn't the only thing. Like you have raw food, you have intermittent fasting, you have meditation. Raw food, eating the raw food diet is just a foundation. It is a very important foundation.
Yeah.
But it's detoxing, it's cleaning out your organs, it's getting yourself cleansing every day.
Yeah.
Emotional cleansing, the mental cleansing, the cleansing your freaking kidneys and your adrenal. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And once you get those things purring and humming, you're gonna realize that it was the best decision that you could have ever made.
Yeah.
And then you'll be on a high. You'll find a new reference, and then once you dip back, you'll know you can go back. Whether you go back up or not, you know that there's a high.
Yes.
That you can get to. So anyway,
I'm glad you've said that. Thank you. Yeah, it's great. Like I say, you're on this path already, and once you've experienced that, there's no going back. There's no going back.
Yeah.
Raw foods is you found it, and I'm glad you said that foundation. Raw foods it's just the start. It's a tool, but it's a very important tool to really help on your healing journey. And it's the best. I'm glad you're feeling the benefits and reaping the rewards of it. If everyone could just lean into it and push through those challenges, and you will come out the other side, and it just gets better and better and better. So thank you. How we end then, Afton, is we always end with, I'm getting a lot of my interviewees always saying, like, with me, the be, feel, and stay Rawlicious, and then we do a kiss. Are you ready? Do you want to say it with me? Be, feel, stay Rawlicious. Yay! Thank you so much.
Peace and love.
Ciao con ca.